mic's on. All right. All right, good. Austin, give me number 7. In fact, as a general rule, let's leave 7 up there all the time, because you'll see when we change from camera to camera that 7 will go away, and so we'll have to bring it back again. Welcome, Tommy. Good to see you. It says, Tom S. finally has a production crew that can make him look good. All right, very good. Daniel Wright is watching. Hey, Daniel, glad to have you. Prince is here. Oh, yeah, that's right. We want to change that one thing. Be right back. All right, let's see. I think we're getting this show on the road here. So you guys are first. Your mics are off. Okay, very good, very good. And Rich is here. Let's see, Austin. I think the audio is coming out in here. Is the for mic 3, is the A or B on? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
A's on, B's not.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just turn it down here. That'll work. And I'll keep this handy. All right. There's nothing like being in a different studio. I'm getting some green reflection here. All right. So who else is here that I've missed? Patrick is here. Welcome from Kenya. Glad to have you. Tommy Willis is from Tallahassee, Alabama. Just right up the road, the other side of Montgomery. And Richard Ignacio is from California. And Rolando Vargas. Rolando, where are you?
Mexico.
Tell us where. Did he say Mexico?
Wait, I don't know.
Okay.
I think so.
And Daniel is somewhere here in the U.S. Okay. Well, we're getting it right. We're getting it close. We're getting close to starting here. We've got a number of really exciting guests. You guys are just going to love the guests for today. These guys that are here, the guests, the students, 12 students from Fairhope Intermediate School, and we're still in pre-show now, by the way. They have been working since September, I guess, when school started, here in the studio, learning about all the aspects of the studio, and every single day they do a live broadcast. It's really amazing, really cool. Savannah, will you check and see if the door to the control room is open? If so, go ahead and close it. I think we're getting a little bit of audio bumping in from there.
It could be through the wall.
It could be through the wall.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
tube.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Abby, there is a box, a carton of, a package of paper right there under that blue thing, all the way at the bottom. Would you pick 3 pieces of paper out of that, ball them up, and push them into that hole over there? And we'll just use them as a way to block off some of that sound. Yeah, just scrunch it up and shove it in that hole, and we'll fix that. All right, let's see, who's with us? Mexico, very well, glad to have you. All right, we're on a little later time today. So let's get started, shall we? So yeah, that's right, Austin. Just Austin, if you would go ahead and show off the control room camera, so that everybody can see you guys in the control room. There we go, and that's Ben and Austin, and who else is that over there? Jack and Scarlett, McClellan, and okay. And then go ahead and show. Do we have a button for the webcam that's in this room? Probably not. Did we make that?
Up there?
No, it's actually the HD Pro webcam. Yeah, the camera that's right up there.
Yes.
That's right.
Number
Yeah. Is that number 4?
Yes, it's number 4.
Yeah. The regular number 4, the red number 4?
Red.
Red 4? Nope, that's it. How about red 3? Red 5. Okay, wasn't any of those. All right, let's go back to 2, orange 2. There we go. Okay, very good. So we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. So we've got a dozen. What are you guys? 8th grade?
6.
6th grade. Excuse me, 6th grade. So you guys are what? 10 and 11 years old?
11.
11 and 12. Okay. All right. So we got it. All right. Very good. All right. Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. So if the control room, if you will roll the opening, we'll get started. Well, hello and welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, and you have arrived at Streaming Idiots. You have come to the end of the internet. It ends right here at Streaming Idiots. And I want to welcome folks from Mexico and from Tallahassee, Alabama, and from all over the world to our little show today. We're on the road at Fairhope Intermediate School in Fairhope, Alabama. Yeah, you'll have to Google that one to find it. But we've got 12 students that have been working very diligently, I would say, since September, learning the craft of live streaming and TV production here in their very own studio at the elementary school. They're 6th graders. That means they're 11 and 12-year-olds, and they do a great job. In fact, we're going to show you some of their work here in just a minute. The studio this is the 2nd year they've had the studio. It was built by my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting, year before last, and it was the brainchild of the principal, Ms. Carol Broughton, who said, we need something like this in the school. And she worked it for about 5 years to try to raise the money to do this, and they did a search for companies that could come in and do this, and they searched all over the U.S. and maybe even all over the world. And they finally were able to make contact with vMix, of all folks, in Australia. And vMix says, well, we have somebody close by to you. And as it turned out, close by meant that my office was less than a mile from the school. They had gone all the way around the world to Australia to find out where they could get a studio built that had the right gear in it. And as it turned out, we were less than a mile from the school. So it's been a lot of fun for me to, number one, build the studio, but number two, continue to have a relationship with the students here at the school and the faculty and the administration. And they were very gracious to allow us to open up, they were very gracious to allow me into their studio here this afternoon so that we could bring you the Streaming Idiot Show and have guests on. So I've got 2 guests with me. Benjamin, if you want to switch to that everybody shot. There we go. There's the everybody shot. And you can see my cam did a little movement because we weren't able to figure out how to get it to not move all those times. But I've got Elliot and Lance with me here today. Welcome, gentlemen. Glad to have you here. And as you can tell, we're not really side by side. They're actually sitting over there in front of a different camera, in front of a different green screen. So they have to look at a dot over here on the wall if they're going to look. That's right. So they're going to look at me like that. So, and I have to look at a dot over there at the wall if I'm going to make eye contact with them. But I wanted to start out with Elliot. Elliot, tell me, what is it that you like best about the live streaming studio that you're working with here at Fairhope Intermediate?
I get to skip out on schoolwork in the morning while I'm here.
Skipping out on schoolwork. That's what you like best?
Yes.
Oh, come on. All right, Lance, what about you?
I like that it's a great experience and dealing with all the technology because I like fixing problems and dealing with the fuzzies in the background, camera problems, and all that kind of stuff.
So mostly you work out of the control room.
Yeah.
Okay. And Elliot, are you mostly on camera or are you mostly in the control room?
Oh, I'm not good on camera. I'm usually in the control room.
You're not good on camera. Well, don't let these guys fool you because both of these guys are full of personality when they get on the air, because I think everybody gets on the air as talent. I tell you what, Benjamin, why don't we go ahead and run the video of the of this morning's announcements. Have you got that one queued up?
Good
Yeah, there
morning,
we go.
Fairhope Intermediate teachers and students. My name is Abby Stewart from Miss Hood's homeroom. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Fairhope Intermediate Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As an ideal Fairhope Intermediate student today, I will speak appropriately, act appropriately, follow directions, and be responsible. Please be seated.
Thank you, Abby. The Essential 55 rule for this week is, whether we are in school or on a field trip, if someone drops something, pick it up and hand it back to them. Even if they're closer to the object, it is only polite to make the gesture of bending down to retrieve the item. Quote of the day. You can't make decisions based on fear and the possibility of what might happen. Michelle Obama. Today's local weather. Rain likely with a high of 73 degrees. Winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with a 90% chance of rain today. So stay dry. Now back to Abby.
Thank you, Jack. Today's lunch. Chicken tenders, mini waffles, hash brown patties, fruitable juice, fruit, and milk. Reminders. Our character word for this month is honesty. Honesty is being truthful in what you say and do. Every day we are learning more about the engineering design process. The series of 5 steps that engineers follow to come up with a solution to a problem are ask, imagine, plan, create, and improve. Thank you, teachers, for all you do. Project Outreach will meet tomorrow at 7:15. 5th graders will meet in Miss Tice's room, and 6th graders will meet in Miss Fenoy's room. Don't forget to bring your Valentine's Day treat bags. More reminders. All Science Club applications must be turned in by Friday to Miss Jackson or Miss Tuttle. Teachers, please send your one STEAM ambassador to Mrs. Jackson's class at 8:15 this morning for a general intro. Even if you didn't send your student's name yesterday, send them to at this time. Thanks, Miss Jackson. A moment in Black history. At the age of 13, this gifted young person was attending a high school on the campus of historical Black West Virginia State College. Later in life, she left her teaching job and enrolled in the graduate math program. Katherine Johnson was called upon to do the work that she would become most known for. She provided some of the math for the 1958 document Notes on Space Technology. Please pause for a moment of quiet reflection. Thank you for tuning in to the Pirate Podcast. Pack a pocket full of patience and go Pirates!
All right. Well done, folks. Well done, folks. We've got 2 more students that were part of the podcast this morning. We've got Savannah and Lawson here. Welcome, ladies. And let's get that shot. There we go. There we go. So, Lawson, we'll start with you. Tell me what role you had in the podcast this morning.
This morning I was just in the production room. I was just working as a backup. I was also setting cameras. We just all help each other out in the production room.
Got it. So you were actually doing the joystick that controls the
Yes.
cameras. Okay, very good. Savannah, what did you do this morning?
Actually, I didn't do anything. Sometimes when there's a lot of jobs filled, so there's 12 of us, and there's only 4 things to do in there, so I actually didn't have a job this morning, but usually I will do overlays or cameras, and it's really fun to do. I like it.
Tell me about the different stations in the control room.
Okay, so if you're starting from left to right, there's overlays, and there's 10 buttons, and so button 1, you would go to, I think it would be morning announcements, that's what it would say, and then the last one is either Black History Month, because this month is Black History. Then you're going to cameras is where you set the preset, so say we were setting you, we would leave you about 2 inches of headroom and about center you so you're not all off to the side. And the next one is cameras, actually. And we switch back and forth. So as you saw on the example that we did this morning, it was Abby, she was doing Talent 1. That's what we call the people on set, certain cameras. And we just switch back and forth throughout the whole podcast. And the last one is the backgrounds, basically, and all of the stream music that we have. So for Christmas, we played, Christmas music. And we also did, for Halloween, we did scary music, and the backgrounds for Halloween were scary pumpkins and things like that. And that's about it. And we have a computer in there that sets it all up.
Awesome. So, Lawson, what's your favorite?
My favorite part is being Talent 1. You get to say a lot and you get to be on camera. But if I'm not in the studio, during production I like to work on the computer. The stream music and doing the backgrounds. That's probably my favorite stuff to do.
Cool. Savannah, what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is probably being Talent 2, because sometimes I don't like seeing myself on camera, but I do like doing it because I like public speaking. I like to talk a lot, so it's a good thing for me.
Well, both of you young ladies are very poised, and I'm really proud of you, and well done.
Thank you.
So let's cut the camera back to me, and while we do that, we'll go ahead and let you guys turn your mics off and just set them down and make room for our next 2 guys. We've got a note from Patrick in the chat that says, Lance is just like myself, only I was 18 years late into what I love doing. So very good. Thank you, Patrick. We're having a lot of fun with it. And we also have, I can't pronounce the name, I'm sure I'm going to butcher it, but Shep Jim from Kosovo that is watching us live today. So we're glad to have you here. And I hope somebody will help him out with this question there in the chat. Mike O'Brien is here. welcome Mike. Glad to have you. Mike is from Tallahassee, Florida, and a really good guy. So we're coming to you live. If you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from the Fairhope Intermediate School, their podcast studio called the Pirate Podcast. They do this every single school day of the week, except tomorrow, because the teachers can't make it tomorrow. But they do scripts. They read the scripts. They set cameras. They set audio. They set graphics. They do the whole thing. 6th graders to the 11 and 12-year-olds. I've got 2 more with me now. Guys, you want to turn your mic on. And I've got Jack and Austin. Jack, your mic is a little low, so you're going to have to hold that a little closer to your mic. Austin, I think you're okay on that one. I'm glad to have you guys here. And Austin, I want to hear from you first, because you were one of the ones that I asked to talk specifically about the roles that you play, because you kind of get into the vMix a little bit and make adjustments on that. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, I use the vMix because when I change the backgrounds a lot, so like if we're doing something for Halloween, we change the backgrounds and stuff like that. And earlier when we had the thing up for celebrating Black History, so we had different pictures of famous people for Black History up.
Very good. Very good. All right. Jack, what about you? What's your favorite part of this whole process?
My favorite part is doing the technical director. I like to do that one a lot, and every once in a while I'll do talent too, but I don't like to do talent 1.
lot of FaceTime on the camera with talent 1, isn't there?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So do either one of you guys think that you might be interested in doing this when you get up to the middle school or to the high school? I think they've got studios there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Very good. What's one thing that you've learned in doing this that kind of surprised you?
I guess
I can tell you one thing that I've learned about you guys that surprised me a little bit is how quickly you guys learn this stuff. Frankly, I think you learn it faster than old folks like me learn it. You guys just picked it up. And you're both so very comfortable in front of the camera and on the other side of the camera. Really, really, really. What do you think?
I mean, I prefer being on the other side in production. I don't like being in front of the camera.
I get it. That's all right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you much, gentlemen. We'll go back to the number 2 shot. That's just me. And we'll rotate these guys out. Guys, mic's out, mic's off, and down on the seat. And welcome, sir. We have the assistant principal popping in just to make sure that we were behaving ourselves today. If you put number 7 back up. There we go. All right. And number 7 allows us to see the chat. The part of the chat is coming from Facebook. Part of the chat is coming from YouTube because we're streaming. We're actually streaming 3 different locations today, maybe even 4. We're going to Facebook, which is embedded into the Eastern Shore Broadcasting page, easternshorebroadcasting.com. And so a lot of folks are watching there and can chat. And then we're streaming it to the Eastern Shore Broadcasting Facebook page, and we're streaming it to the Streaming Idiots Facebook group. And then I think it's linked from one of those 3 to the Fairhope Intermediate School. So, and we get to watch those comments. And as you guys see the comments up there, the ones with the F's on them are the ones coming from Facebook, and the red ones are the ones coming from YouTube. We have folks watching from all over the world today. So if you can give us that group shot, that's number 4. I want to welcome, who have I got here? I've got Ben and Scarlett. Glad to have you guys. Thanks for popping in. Popping in. You guys are out of school. Y'all could be out doing fun stuff today, and instead you're here in the studio. So thank you for taking a few moments out.
Yeah, it's super fun.
This is way more fun than going home.
It's like you're almost speaking to the president all over the whole world is like here with you, and you're just seeing them and you're talking to them. It's just really crazy.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is amazing. And one of the most amazing things is that Ben and Scarlett have to look at a dot on the wall over here in order to appear to be looking at me. And I have to look at a dot on the wall over there to appear to be looking at them, because our chairs are not side by side. It just wouldn't fit in the studio here today. So we're actually on 2 separate green screens on 2 separate cameras. I'm on camera 1 with a green screen behind me, and they are actually over there on camera 2 with a green screen behind them up there. So by the wonders of chroma key, we get to sit side by side. So Ben, tell me, what's your favorite part of this whole process?
Well, my favorite part is the Talent 1 job, because whenever I just come in the morning, I just see like 2 other people doing jobs, like Talent 2, and then there's floor director. Sometimes I talk too fast, so the floor director would tell me to slow down, just like I'm being really fast right now.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I really am.
No, I can't imagine.
It's
it's only like thousands and thousands of people
I
watching
know,
from all over the world.
It's definitely not crazy, but I just sometimes during the script there's like in lunch I like to see the lunch, so I just got hit start, and then in the news I'm just saying to the teacher, hey, do you have the science forums? Do you have the science fair forums and all that? So she's like, oh, that's why. And so it's just really fun to do this, because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you get to do when you're like really young.
Yeah, and you guys are really pulling it off. So Scarlett, tell me, what's your favorite part of this whole process?
I have to say my favorite part is definitely Talent 1.
Really?
I'm not a very technical person.
Okay.
I like more being on screen time, because usually when I do it, I make it funny. I remember one time being on Talent 2, I was wearing a reindeer hoodie, and I had to stop because they had to change the background on the camera camera 1 twice. So at the end I said, I bet you're wondering about my reindeer sweatshirt. Yes, it is adorable. I don't know why I do that, but I do silly things like that whenever I'm on camera.
Gotcha. Well, both of you guys are extremely poised. Now, Ben, you're not a 6th grader. You're a 5th grader, right?
Yes, I am.
So you're even a little bit. I remember having a conversation with some grown-ups about a year ago, or actually a year and a half ago. I was talking with them about building this studio, and one of them bet me that there was no way that 11 and 12-year-olds could pull this off. And I told him, I said, you're going to lose this bet. You're going to lose this bet. And what do you guys think? Do you think he lost the bet?
Yes, he definitely did.
He lost the bet.
If he's watching this right now, he's going to be like, dang.
That's right. Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's go back to that number 2 shot. You guys can turn your mics off, and we'll get our next crew in here. Thank you very much. That's going to be a tough act to follow. It is one of the other reasons why we're here at the school this afternoon and using the school studio is they have been working on this since September, doing morning announcements, again, almost every day of the week, every school day in the morning, and they get in here early. They get to school early before all the other students get here, so that they can practice their roles. There are 2 teachers, Dr. Campbell and Ms. Wiles, that work very hard with them every day, working on articulation, working on pace, working on voice control, as well as the technical aspects in the control room. But today we're doing something pretty different. We've rearranged the studio. We've put seating chairs in here instead of the desks that they normally have in front of them. We've reorganized the cameras, reorganized the microphones into more of a talk show format. And my hope would be that you guys might be able to use this kind of format some in the future, and maybe not just for announcements, but maybe for some new content, some original content. For example, you guys might want to have, I don't know, maybe the McClellan and Lucia show that would happen, every Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, where you would talk about the latest styles. Or you might want to have the Azetta and Abby show, where you would talk about the latest in footwear. Not really sure where we're going with that. Let's go back to that number 4 shot, because I do want to welcome Azetta and Abby into the show. Guys, make sure you have your mics on. And Azetta, your mic's running a little low, so you're going to have to keep it just a little closer than normal.
Okay.
But Azetta, tell us about what your favorite part of this live streaming studio podcast thing is. What do you like the best?
To be honest, I really like not being back with my teacher every day. Like in the morning, she's kind of mean, so like it's good to have like.
She's
not
watching
really.
right now.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. That's here on Streaming Idiots we get unvarnished truth. We get the whole honest thing right now. So if you're Azetta's teacher and you're watching right now, give her a pass on this one because she's just being honest. And it's a little intimidating to be on a show like this, and sometimes your brain doesn't always kick in with all the normal safeguards that you would otherwise. So we appreciate that. And Azetta, we're going to let you think about that answer for just a second because I want to come back and get you to tell me something else that you like about it. But Abby, you had Talent One this morning. We saw you just a minute ago.
Yes, sir.
Doing Talent One this morning. How did that feel? Was that comfortable?
I love being like on camera. I just don't know why. It's just more fun. And it is comfortable because like you get so nervous, but like after like the first time we ever did it, like everyone was so nervous because it was our first time, and like once you do it the first time, like on and on, like as you go, you like get so comfortable with like the AV team, like they're like so close now to all of us, and it's just like family, to be honest.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, you guys just came in. 12 students. I guess some of you might have known each other before.
Yeah,
but
we did.
You definitely had people that you didn't know, and you got to have experiences with them. And it's kind of fun when you get to know people, and then you get to have more and more experiences. You get to know them better, and you know the folks that you like the best, and then they're the other people. Yeah. But Azetta, we're going to go back to you. When we think about the things that happen here in the studio portion and in the control room portion, what's your favorite part?
I like being in the studio, especially Talent One, because you have a lot to say, and being on the camera, I like that part.
Very good. Very good. If
Was that a better answer that time?
I'm sorry?
Was that a better answer
That
that
was
time?
awesome. That was awesome. That was great. And it was well thought out, and it was well spoken. Yeah. You guys, folks, these folks, these kids, I won't call them kids, they're young adults, are really quite amazing. They are really quite amazing. Very, very talented. Do you guys see yourselves being involved in this at the middle school or the high school maybe?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I would love to do that.
Okay.
It would be so much fun.
Yeah.
When you're older and you have kids, do you think they might enjoy this?
I think so. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Very good. Well, you heard it from two Talent Ones right here. Let's go back to shot 2, and you guys can turn your mics off. But thank you. That was Azetta and Abby. Really talented folks. You've heard me talk and kind of gush about these kids before when we've talked about the live streaming studio here at the school. You can go ahead and turn your mics on. And now I hopefully don't play with the lights. Most of them are really mature, but occasionally we get ones that are a little less than mature. Who's over there playing with the lights up and down, up and down. I think he's bored. I understand. I get it. All right, let's see if we've got any other comments here from chat. If you can go back to shot number 7. There you go. That's right. It is cool. And Patrick says, I feel you, Ben. There you go. You can stay with shot 4. That's all right. Shot 4 was good. So let's bring in Lucia and McClellan. And you guys, what is your favorite part, McClellan?
I really like being a talent. Again, like Scarlett, I'm not the most technical person in the whole wide world, so most people are like, I'd rather be in production. I love being on camera.
Well, have you ever done anything on camera that you wish you hadn't done?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever have. I think I get myself so nervous that I'm kind of forced to just do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Do you have trouble talking?
Sometimes I'll get going so fast that I'll like stutter or something, and it can be kind of hard.
I understand. Okay, Lucia, what's your favorite part of this process?
I love being director, and director is the person who gives commands to the people in production, telling them which overlays to put on, which cameras to take, when to start and stop, stuff like that.
And I remember when we very first started, there's a cute little story. Tell us the story about you signing up for this, and then what happened after that.
So I did not think I was going to be a big camera person. I did not want to be in front of the camera. And my family, we are not early people. I'm an early person, but my family cannot wake up early. And so being here at 7:15 is really hard. And so I was like, that's not going to work either. And just, I'm not a big camera person. I don't like the feeling of just standing in front of thousands of people and, that kind of nervous.
And so you were ready to back out and not be a part of this team.
Yes.
And then?
Well, my brother actually does it. It's Elliot. And he wanted to do it, so, and he told Miss Wiles why. And so she called my teacher and she said, just tell her to come down here and see if she likes it. And so I came and I ended up loving it.
How about that?
I think it was after the tour that you were like, wow, maybe I should do this.
Very good, very good. And there's a lesson in that too, not just for what we're doing today, but for anything that we're going to have as an experience in the future, that, maybe we need to try some of these things because they may not be exactly like we think they are when we're looking at them from the outside. What do they say about a book? You can't judge
a book by its cover.
Exactly. That's very good. So, if we could do something different, or I say we, I really mean you guys. If you guys could do something different with your morning announcements than what you're doing right now, maybe something new or something different, what might you do?
Well, I would really hope it's really structured, and I like that. But, something I wish we could just, be a little less like this, not so structured and not scripted, and you just kind of wing it. Sometimes I would like to do that because it gets a little stressful at times.
So maybe you could have a Wing It Wednesdays?
Yeah, that should actually be a thing.
I wish that we could do something more that involves more people, that it's not just 2 people. Maybe we could have even 4 or 5 doing it and have other things to talk about than just announcements, lunch, and weather and stuff like that.
So what other kinds of things would there be? I mean, what else is there besides announcements and lunch and weather?
Well, I guess last year, we streamed the talent show, and we had an idea. We were like, after so many acts, we would cut and just talk about the acts, how much we liked them or something like that. So, for the announcements, we could talk about something that we liked through the school or something we could change or something like that.
Excellent. I see an idea beginning to form here of a new segment for the announcements. It could be Wing It Wednesdays, or there could be the commentary section where there's a 45-second commentary. You'd have to really work on it to get something into 45 seconds.
Right.
But you could do that. All right.
We also do these things. They're challenges, and we've done 2, and we did a Halloween one, and people drew a picture and sent it in to Miss Wiles, and she picked the best, or we all picked the best 2, and they were used as our backgrounds for our podcast.
Very cool. I love getting the whole school involved in it like that too. That's neat. All right, ladies. Well, thank you for being in. Let's go back to shot 1. That was Lucia and McClellan, and I tell you what, the whole group, all 12 of them, it's really amazing to see them grow and mature in this, to see the leadership, like Lucia talking about, she likes to be the director. She likes to tell people what to do. My guess is maybe that happens at home too. You never know. McClellan is just one of those bubbly kind of personalities that you just can't help but be kind of attracted to, and I say that in the sense that you really want to hear what she has to say. And are you guys the last two? Okay, so we're out of kids. You know what we ought to do? We ought to get Ms. Wiles in here. Yeah, we ought to get Ms. Wiles in here. And it's a shame that Dr. Campbell's not here today to do that. So they've gone into the way this is laid out is we have a room that's about 10 by 12, and this is the studio. And we've got the cameras in here, and the lights in here, and the microphones in here, and all the other sets in here. Have a seat right here. And yes, please. And then on the other side of this wall, behind the cameras, is another room about the same size. And that room is the studio room. Please come in. Y'all tell her what she needs to do with her microphone. And we've got really some super guests coming up here in just a second. I'll tell you what, the rest of you guys don't step in front of this camera, but I want you to come around and be on both. Don't step in front of this camera, but come around this way. That's right. Abby, you too. All the way. Yeah, scoot up just a tad. There we go. Let's get the whole group in here and try to get them in the shot. There we go. You need to stand right there, or you're going to be invisible. Or you can come stand behind me, but that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, let's go to. Is there anybody left in the control room?
Yes, there is. There's 3 of
Okay,
us.
there they are. Let's give us camera 4. Orange 4. There we go. There we go. There's the group. All right, so we have with us Ms. Broughton, the principal, and Ms. Broughton, this is your camera right here.
Hi, guys.
And Ms. Wiles, who is the GEP teacher here. Hello. And she is one of the two. We don't have Dr. Campbell with us, unfortunately. The way we've got this structured, you know how the principal can't pay attention when she's in these situations. Gee whiz. Ms. Broughton and Ms. Wiles, if you guys will look at an invisible dot on that green screen right there, that will give the appearance of looking at me on the camera, because we've got a kind of a crafted shot. And when I look over there between Izetta and Ben, I will have the appearance of looking at you. So if we're making eye contact in real life, we're not making eye contact in virtual life. Ms. Wiles, you have been with this crowd since September.
Yes, we started practicing in August, right after school started.
The dot on the wall. There we go.
Just can't follow directions. And they were nominated by their 5th grade teachers and a 4th grade teacher. And we started practicing, and we really worked on using vMix. We worked on the controls, cameras, speech, getting the kids to be poised while they were speaking. And we worked on that for about 3 weeks before we started going live. And that's really when we started troubleshooting, making sure that we could fix things ourselves when they went wrong, working on things like making last-minute changes, being more flexible. That's when the problem solving happened.
Awesome. Has it, from an educational standpoint, I mean, I know it's been fun for the kids, but from an educational standpoint, what kind of things do you think they're learning?
I think in a very real way, they're learning, can we do this? Imagining different ways about doing things, coming up with a plan, creating, and then working on how we're going to improve it. They come up with ways that we can increase our viewership. They talk about ways that we can make sure that the whole school is involved, and they're just moving us forward all the time. Whereas I would probably be happier just to say, oh, good, we can do it now, it's fine. They keep pushing to make it better, and I'm so proud of them. They're wonderful.
I get it. Well, and, you know, it's been interesting for me as an observer, a participant on occasion, but as an observer, to watch you. This is your 2nd year doing this. To watch you grow with the groups, and your confidence in pulling off these daily events has grown, 1,000% since we started. I guess a year and a half ago.
It was about 18 months. I think it's a good thing for teachers to go out on a limb and learn something new. We talk to the kids about having a growth mindset and recognizing that it's not it's not I can't, it's when I can, and the power of yet. I can't do it yet. And it's been a good thing for me professionally to be able to go in and say, okay, I can't do this right now, but give me some time, give me some practice, give me some direction, and being able to say to the kids, you know, it's okay, we will get better at this. And we have, you know, and growing together and learning together is really fun and really rewarding. And I think that's really what education's all about, is making sure that you're doing real and relevant things. I mean, this is absolutely meaningful, absolutely relevant to our kids, and I'm really proud of them.
Ben says, wow.
Wow.
Now, Ms. Broughton, you're the one that hatched this whole plot.
I might be the guilty party. Yes, indeed. It's been a process. And Lucia, what is the quote that you gave me when I asked you, what have you learned from all of this? When have you learned the most? Do you remember what you said?
Yes. When students learn more when they have to fail over and over again, and when they get it's even better because they failed so many times.
That's right, and it takes a lot of courage to fail, but that's the whole process of life, you know. And I'm so thrilled that you guys have had the courage to do this, and that it wasn't always easy. Well, you've had your challenges. You've had a little fear in there, like, oh my gosh, we can't do this. And look at you now. You surpassed all of that. I'm really, really proud and have loved this journey. And can't wait to see how you train the newbies that come on board for next year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and Ms. Broughton, I have the feeling that you guys are only really scratching the surface, that there's going to be so much more. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring the Streaming Idiots show here today and kind of blow up the studio and then put it back together a whole different way, hoping that might trigger some. I see McClellan, I can watch the gears moving right there. And Elliot's thinking, okay, you know, where can I get a cheeseburger right about now?
Elliot wants a donut, I can tell you.
Well, it's been wonderful. Let's see if we have any questions from the folks that are watching at home. You can write them in the Eastern Shore Broadcasting Facebook group. Yep, thank you. That's the good shot. And you can write them in the YouTube page. Austin, would you go back to the control room camera for just a second? Because there are just a few of you guys left in the control room. Most of you are in here. There you go. There you go. And you know what we might do now, if we've got just a few minutes before parents come to pick up you guys, we might do just a quick studio tour.
Yes.
And I want to let you guys to sort of comment on it. And we'll hook in my cell phone as a camera. So let's get that fired up.
This is like that game on the National Geographic, Brain Games, where I'm looking this way, but the picture's that. It's like,
I watched it like 5 times in a row.
is it not the coolest?
I know.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Oh, so cool. I watched it.
There we go. It'll take just a second for that to go away.
I'm helping talking.
All right.
Lucia needs to help
Huh?
Should we turn these off? Yeah. Is it interfering?
I don't know where it's coming from, but let's go into the control room.
Mr. Sinclair.
Yes.
Miss Wild's computer is not working, so we think something's wrong with the stream. It
But we
says
don't
we're
know.
still streaming,
Mm-hmm.
but Miss Wild's computer is just frozen at one spot.
Well, I'll go check on the.
That's okay. We're recording it, so it'll work out. All right, so let's see who's there. Is that Abby? No, that's Scarlett at the controls. Okay, Scarlett Lawson. Sorry. One of the buttons there, one of the orange buttons was for Tom's camera. You see that on the list there somewhere? No, that's not it. It would be like 8 or 9. Well, okay, we'll just have to come in and do it manually. All right, here we go. Going into the control room.
Wait, Mr. Sinclair, should I entertain them?
Yes.
What did the water say to the boat? Nothing. It just waved. And that's your segment with Lance Wade.
Oh, hi. Wait, are you still doing jokes?
I'll let them go.
Aww.
Hello.
Let's turn this off. We try to get.
I like reading.
Okay, I think that's got it.
Wow.
Sorry about that. All right, so we're in the control room now. And let's see, Lucia, would you tell us about that station that you're sitting at?
It's very simple. Button 1 turns on the morning announcements. So it'll put on that overlay.
You can see it right there.
Yes. And you just press it to once to put it on and once to put it off. And they show all different kind of things. I think number 5 is a quote, and 4 is like the joke.
Okay.
And we do different quotes and jokes.
Okay, and that's part of every day's
Yes.
regular broadcast. Okay, let's see who's in front of me here. Jack, thank you. Jack, what have you got there?
This is the camera thing where you set the cameras, and then to set the presets you put set and then 1 enter for like a standing position, or for the sitting one set 2 enter.
Okay, very good. And you're using that screen in front of you. There are 2 55-inch monitors there. The one on the left generally has a split screen that shows both cameras. Right now, we've just got it doing the output. And okay, so our technical director here, Scarlett, what have you got? Lawson, sorry. Here we go. Tell us what you got there.
So these are the cameras. You press the green ones to put them in preview, and then the red ones to put them in output. These are overlays. We don't really use these because we have an overlay station.
Yep.
These are our microphones.
Right.
We press the STM button to stream, and then we press the FTB and the record button to start the Pirate Podcast. And then these are the cameras that we are using today. And then this is to switch stuff back and forth from preview to output.
The T-bar?
The T-bar, yes.
All right. And Austin, what have you got there at your station?
Okay, so we have a computer which runs everything. So if the computer's off, they are working. And it also has vMix, which is how we get the cameras up and stuff. And this controls the mics right here. This controls the mics. This is all the overlays and the camera positions and stuff right here. So yeah, this is basically where the person who's controlling the vMix.
All right. And we have kind of a unique situation here because there's a wall right there where the studio is. And so in order to communicate with the folks on the other side, McClellan's got a mic there. And so McClellan, in the morning when you guys are doing announcements, you're talking with the folks.
Right, so if we have to set their cameras, we'll be like, hey, so-and-so, stand up so you can set your camera, and that's how they get the signal to do it.
And so you give them a countdown.
Right, so we'll go ready on set, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we don't say lunch, we sometimes cut to the podcast. Looks like somebody has a question.
Somebody has a question, okay. What's the question?
Is it possible for them to bring a remote guest? Maybe they can interview a teacher.
There's actually some other guys are staying after school today, so like the Alabama History Club, the teachers might still be there.
Okay.
We've actually worked on that before after school. We worked on it with our principal and our assistant principal. So we're just waiting for a time to use that ability.
Well, we just need to get that principal and assistant principal moving.
Yes.
Yeah. Austin's shaking his head.
We didn't get it working.
You didn't get it working?
We had the whole view of the device. No, we got their computer to hook up to this. So I think actually camera 3 would switch to that camera. Yes. And I think one of the overlays is actually Dream Team. But
Yes, it's like 12.
No, that's a central bulb. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we changed it.
All right, let's go see the studio, because we've sat in the studio, but we haven't really seen the studio. Over here is the PC that they're using, one that we built for them. They're using a Behringer UMC 404 HD for their mic channels, and then we've set up, you can't really see it, but we set up just a little local area network so that we have camera control. So we're out, and then the beautiful whiteboard.
Right, most of our ideas on here.
That's where they put their ideas. So we're going to go out. This is actually the library. They call it the media center now. And so they're shutting down the school for the day, but we are going to go around the corner and into the studio. You see Ms. Broughton and Ms. Wiles again. And this is what the studio looks like.
The best part right here.
So
That's like we usually have a table right there, and just one chair, and then
that desk right here.
and we don't have anybody. We don't have any chairs over there. We just have somebody standing up.
On Mark. Yeah, where Elliot's
on that
is
green piece of tape.
where that one talent 2 stands, and that's where they stand and they look into this camera.
And we know all this stuff because of Mr. Thompson.
Yeah.
So is there something written on that piece of tape down there? It says Mark.
So when people
We don't have anybody.
so when the people on that say stand on your mark, that means stand right in front of the camera.
And then you'll be centered.
Yeah, then you'll be centered in the camera, or they can say
Yeah, that camera's not usually there. It's like right.
Yeah,
right
here.
right there. And we usually don't have this.
Yeah.
We usually use all these.
Why do you think the walls are black?
Because
it's like we
the light in the
the light.
the light would reflect off different color walls, and it would mess up with the green screen.
And
And
we'll
his
have
light
LEDs.
does not reflect light, so
Yeah, of course.
that's why we
So
use
there's
LED.
a window right there.
We've got quite a few lights in here. The fluorescent lights are off because they're a different color temperature. All of these lights here around are at 5,500 degrees Kelvin, which is the measurement of the color of light.
Oh yeah, and we usually have a chair over here for the floor director or Dr. Campbell.
Dr.
She's not
Campbell,
here.
there's usually 4 people in here. Normally,
Talent
Dr.
one.
Campbell will stay
Yeah.
here
She'll
for
stand back
talent
here.
1, talent 2, and floor director.
And
And floor director gives them signals to slow down,
just like
can't hear you,
smile, look at the camera,
slow down, reposition your
yeah.
mic.
And
Yeah,
the floor director stands where?
Right
Behind camera 2,
and then
more-
beside it.
and Dr. Campbell will usually stand
For
behind
talent one, and be like.
So how many different jobs are there in a production?
8 total. No, 7 total.
7
8 including.
All right, so let's name them. Talent 1, talent 2,
floor director, director,
And then there's also director. So that's 9. No,
It's 8. It's 8.
It's 8. So there's 4 there, 4 here, and then one more because there's.
Oh yeah.
How many? No, there's only 3 in here.
Yeah,
And then there's 5 in here. Oh yeah, Dr. Campbell. Okay, yeah.
Someone says, can the monitor show all camera angles? Oh. Like,
yes,
yes, you can.
yes,
Yes, and we are a bunch of left-handed.
yes.
What about
And-
someone
And Corey, yes, we're actually using a cell phone today using vMix Call as if it were an extra camera studio. We could have used the NDI app but we're not on the same network as the PC is here. Being a school, the network is locked down pretty tightly.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So, but you can get a pretty good idea as we pan around the studio again.
And Corey also said, like an idea for interviewing teachers. It's a really good idea. Yeah. On what they're doing in like their classrooms. And we've been talking about the engineering design process for like a couple of weeks now. So like if we interview some teachers, like they can tell us what engineering design process they're doing in their classroom. Yeah, interview some students, maybe like talking about what are you working on in STEAM and like interview students.
See how they answer.
And also we were thinking about doing like a bus line. When people are coming out of the buses, we just set up the camera there. We're like, how do you feel about global warming?
Or like, something that is going on in school that all the teachers and
or in the world.
Yeah. Like global warming.
It doesn't have to involve school like every time.
Our
It can involve
news,
most of the time.
I think our news should go outside of just local, tiny little Fairhope. Maybe we could go to the state of Alabama or even the country.
Or the region.
Guys, pack your bags. We're going to Australia.
Okay, folks. Guys, we are almost out of time, and your moms are going to be showing up. The dads will pick you up in just a minute. But is there any last message that you would like to say to anybody?
Thank you.
Savannah.
Make sure you eat at least a gallon of cheese each day. It is good for you.
Okay,
You can also log your
here's a question.
Oh, great.
Is there a teleprompter as well? No.
What is that?
Yeah.
Anything that scrolls through and tells you what to
goes
say.
right here.
That's actually
We actually did have one that one last year, but we're just
Yeah, they were on tablets and stuff.
Yeah, we never got.
I'm
to it.
fixing them right now.
Dr. Campbell types out all the words for us and we make adjustments.
Yes,
She types out the script.
It's like on this. It's on this.
Thank you for all the questions.
Yeah, thanks.
This is how we tweak it from there.
One time out all the words. You're right. Corey said who types out all the words. Dr. Campbell.
She's amazing.
Yes,
She's the fifth grade GEP teacher.
Yes, and Miss Watson.
She's my GEP.
Comment if you want another section of Lance's jokes.
Okay, with that, we're going to wrap it up. But this has been Streaming Idiots coming to you live from, where are we?
Pocket full of patience and go Pirates!
Cut. Okay.
I like yells. That was so much fun. Yeah, yellow TV.
Okay, there we go. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. As you can tell, it was a bit of a wild show, but appreciate you guys coming in at a different time. And a big shout out to Tim at vMix. Tim was visiting here in the studio. What was it, about 2 months ago? No, it was probably October, wasn't it?
October, November, around there.
Yeah. So it was good. So they give a big shout out to Tim. They were asking about him later. So we're going to drop the stream now, but thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week at regular time, 3 o'clock Eastern, on Streaming Idiots next Wednesday. Take care. And Austin, you can turn off the stream. Just click the stream button. Nope, the other stream button. There we go. Good job.